This video is from my series that walks you through how to build a career in film and television production. So the one thing we do in this program that we're constantly striving for and that we're constantly driving into is setting up informational interviews. This is something you'll use now and you'll use repeatedly in your career. You'll use it to meet new people and to just sit down and talk about an industry and get connected with someone to just show them how relevant and how interested you are. It typically works with people you don't know, but it's a great way to just sit down and connect and broaden your network, especially with senior people who you may not have a direct connection to, but you do somehow have a connection through a third party with some within your network. So the informational interview that we're doing are with senior people, mid-level or executive types of people. We can do them with entry level. It's part of our networking. But the ones we're really after for the informationals are the people who are in the middle and the upper tier of management in film production. And we do this so we can make a connection in a way where it's disarming. We can make a connection in a way where we're not asking for something. The moment you ask to read a script, to get a job, to come to your showcase, or to review your shit online, the person, the executive, will ghost. They just aren't going to connect because they can't take the legal jeopardy of being sued sometime down the road. So the simple answer to that problem is don't see or read anything. Just ignore it all. So let's talk about the informational. Let's talk about the structure. They are 20 minutes. We're going to say that we're looking for a 20-minute meeting, a call, a Skype, a Zoom, a meeting, whatever, to talk about what they do. Do not go over the 20 minutes unless they say it's okay. If they do say it's okay, never go more than 30 minutes. You have to cut it off. You ask for 20 minutes. You can't go more than 30 if they agree. You can't go more than 20. That's your goal. You want to get in and get out, watch the clock, 20 minutes. You have a couple of questions to be answered. At the end, you have a goal. Your goal is to get 2 or 3 referrals. And then say at the end of that meeting what it is you're looking for. You're not asking them for a job, and we'll get to this in a minute. You're not asking for a job, but you do want to tell them what your purpose is and why you're in the industry. Now, the reason we set the 20 minutes is because 20 minutes is an easy chunk of time to get from someone, and you can get some good information exchange, and you can hear a story in 20 minutes. You have to be efficient, and you got to be quick, but a lot can get done in 20 minutes. You're asking for 20 minutes. You have to behave and you have to stick to that 20 minutes. That is super important. If they give you additional time to go over, don't take more than 30. Because what will happen is you'll be sitting down talking to this person. You'll go 20 minutes. You'll say, oh my God, 20 minutes. I don't want to abuse your time. I told you I would ask for 20. It's 18. And we need to wrap it up in 2 minutes. Thank you very much for your time. They go, no, let's continue to talk. Next thing you know, it's 60 minutes later. And they're like, fuck. 60 minutes? God damn it. My fucking day is going to be another hour longer. And that kid, that person ruined my fucking day. Now I'm an hour behind because I spent an hour with them. You don't want to be in that position. You're in control of negotiating that time and making sure that you get out in 30 minutes max. 20 minutes is preferred. You want to do it by meeting, either in person, a call, a Skype, a Zoom, just to talk. That's all it is. By the way, these meetings, these calls, the Skypes, the Zoom, they're professional. They happen in a commercial environment, at a studio, in an office, somewhere, not at someone's house, coffee shop okay, diner okay, not at someone's house, not in someone's hotel room. That's not professional. So be careful, be wise, don't put yourself in a place where you're stuck in a dick out. Your goal is to get them to talk about themselves. All you're going to do is just listen. You're going to listen about their career path. It starts by asking a simple question. How did you get into this job from your start? And then you shut the fuck up and listen, and you take notes. Your goal at the end of this conversation, at the end of this interview, is to listen, to recap the interview, and ask for 2 or 3 referrals for other informational interviews, just like the one you just had with the person you're talking to. You want to make sure that you include and you collect their email. You also want to collect their actual snail mail address because you're going to send them a thank you. At the end of it, When it's all over, you're going to send them an email saying thank you and also including your credits. And you're going to mail them a handwritten, snail-mailed thank you note that has your resume or your credits attached to it or in the envelope along with it. In this informational interview, always, always, always ask for 2 or 3 more names of similar executives or mid-level whatevers, writer, director, actor, producer, writer, director, producers to talk to, and make sure you can drop the name of the person you just talked to when you connect with the referral. For example, I had a meeting with Jim over at Paramount. He told me I need to talk to you as well. I'm looking for ... You want to make sure that you can make that connection and you can drop that person's name. Super important to make sure you can actually drop the name. You prepare for this informational by knowing the person you're talking to. This is going to be specific about the individual that you're talking to. You're not blasting out to hundreds of people and it's just generic. You're going to meet with a particular individual. You're going to talk to them or sit in front of them. You need to know what they've worked on. You need to know who they've worked with. You need to know what's currently on the air, if anything, or what just came out or what just aired. You need to go see it. You need to make sure you're conversant on what they just produced. Because you've researched and know the structure of the company and the individual that you're talking to, you'll have a sense of the entry-level jobs that exist with this person's structure, either in the company or on the shows. Plus, they're just generic structures and generic open jobs or generic entry-level jobs for the industry as a whole. So you're going to have done that research and you will have it in your back pocket. You don't ever ask to read your script, to watch your short film, to go to your showcase. You never ask for a job. You know always the person you're sitting in front of, what job you're looking for, why you came to Hollywood, and your 3 favorite shows or movies. That is a language we constantly talk about. We constantly ask that question. I constantly hear executives ask young entrants into the industry, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite TV show? Whether they work in features or television. They want to know. They're using it as a way of assessing exactly what you're interested in. Be clear and direct. This process is about them, not you. Don't forget that. When you're meeting new people, you need to say what job you're looking for right now. That is the I am. I am a, insert your job here. You have an immediate goal and you have a dream goal. What we're talking about now is your immediate goal. I am an actor, not an aspiring actor, and you need to say it with conviction, not with a lilt like you don't really believe it and will never happen, but you kind of want to entertain the idea and it would be really good, but right now I'm just an actress. Right now I'm just waiting tables because I'm an aspiring actor. Horseshit. Knock it off. You are an actor. You might be going out for stand-in jobs or extra jobs, but right now you're an actor. You have to make a living, and you're making that living working as a stand-in. Same thing with writer. I am a writer. I'm looking for a job as a writing assistant. I am a director. I'm looking for a job as an assistant to a director. Those are the kinds of things we need to be very clear about and very concise about. One of the things that will separate you from all the other people who are trying to make a connection to an executive or a mid-level person in Hollywood is understanding the vertical, the business that they're in. That will yield huge results as you go forward. Using the example I made earlier, if you want to work in dramatic television and you're talking to variety show producers, you're never going to get anywhere. And you're going to demonstrate to those producers that you don't know what the fuck you're doing because you're in the wrong vertical trying to get into something that's unrelated to where you're currently talking to folks. Understand the shows the person that you're meeting with or talking to understands the shows they've worked on. Where it's been exhibited, in other words, is it on Netflix? Is it on Amazon, Hulu, in a movie screen, on ABC, NBC, CBS, or one of the cable networks? How is their content being exhibited? And I don't mean in its secondary markets. I mean its primary markets. Where did it show up first? What I mean by primary market is if it shows up first as a feature film, it's a movie. If it shows up first on network television, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, that's network TV. And then it might go to cable, it might go to syndication. The same thing with features. It might go from feature to premium cable like HBO and Showtime, and then ultimately down to cable or on to broadcast television. You have to understand where it was originally exhibited. Know it, see it, watch their content, watch what they've done. Understand the people they've worked with. So before you go into this interview, you're going to sit and look at the dots that connect. So producer A worked with director B, worked with director C, and writer Z through R, or R through Z. Those are the kinds of connections you want to try to get. You can map them out if you want. You can just memorize them. But the point you're making here is you want to be relevant and you want to have a sense of who's worked on what. Eventually, you're going to get that in your head so you can connect dots and start to build a network and understand how people are connected within the industry. But in the meantime, as you're starting out, just study it like it's a test, because it is. That's what you're being tested on it. Understand the key creatives that the producer has worked with or the people that you're interviewing with have worked with in the past. They may or may not have actually had direct connection to them. And it's not fun to answer the question, do you know Bob from blah, blah, blah? It's kind of boring. And it's a thing people do, and most executives are annoyed by it. So that's not the point of this. The point isn't to stay connected that way. The point is to be connected so that you can demonstrate that you understand the landscape of the business in which you're working. You're not doing it as a way of playing geography about who's connected to who. You're doing it as a way of demonstrating to the people who you're talking to that you understand the landscape of the industry. And finally, you've done the research. You have it ready. You're informed for when you're talking. And like I said, this is a test. These people are going to test you, and they're going to test you in very simple ways. The simple ways are, have you watched what they've made? Have you watched what they currently have on air? Can you talk about it in a conversation? And do you understand the key people who worked on that project that helped that producer or writer or director make it into fruition? Nothing gets made in a vacuum. No one single person makes a project happen. It's a collaborative art. It goes without saying. Knowing who the players are who are connected and who are working with the person you're meeting with is part of the test, and it is a skill that we develop over time.